Alright, time to get back to texturing. We've got the player house model here, well, the UV map of it. Let's get things lined out here. Let's get the wall here. And then go ahead and fill it in with a color. Copy it over for the other wall. Bring the opacity down a little bit so we can see where it needs to get moved around. A little bit that way. Let's pull this one down as well. That one looks okay. Alright, next area. We'll do this part, the chimney, I believe. Just keep bringing it around and down and over and then back up. There we go. Give this a color here. Let's go with a red. Now this is the inner wall of the chimney. Go with that. And then the upper flat part of the chimney. So many parts to a chimney. There we go. Give this a color as well. And now for the roof. There we go. Need to choose a color, but before we do that we need to make sure we know where the center is. So that's what this is going to do. Let's group it and now slide it over. Color in, and there we go. We now know right where that center of the roof is for when we need to line it back up. Now, just have a few to finish up with here. And we'll start with this. I believe that's the door. And then go with this one, or this set. That is the windows. Make that small one over here. Move it over, and this is the bottom of the house. Might need to zoom in here. That'll do. Almost. Shrink it down a little bit there. And we can go ahead and tend to these, which are the sides of the windows. Give it that color, and then the last, the side of the door. There we go, everything is color-coded for us. We are ready to move into the other program we're using. Be just a moment though. Just a moment, and we're back. And we're in Blender. We're gonna make sure we have the model we're working on here all selected, so we can see how the parts line up with what we think they are. Let's go into materials, load in a new one, and then load in our texture map. Don't need the UV editor anymore. Here's what we have. Looks all right. Let's switch over to the image editing program. And here we are. So first thing, let's make a duplicate layer of the parts we want to work with. And we're going to go something of a terracotta kind of color. And we'll add some detail in here. And it needs to be sized up a little bit more. And the opacity turns down. Yeah, maybe not scale it up. I think the opacity change did it. Do the opposite on the other side here. And load it in and see how it looks. That looks alright. Especially as I'm not trying to make it too detailed. Next up, the roof. Make a new layer. And now in the new layer, let's go ahead and get a color picked, I believe is what we need to do. This looks all right. And now for the duplicate layer, we will go black, add in some noise, and follow that up with a motion blur of the zoom variety. And let's see how that looks. That's pretty close, but I think we can do better. Have to keep trying to make it work. Have a general idea here. That's do I want to call that close enough or try it again? Alright. There's our roof. Let's see how everything looks on the model now. Yeah, that's decent. Next part, once we merge everything, so we don't have too many extra layers to have to fight through. And let's work on this roof. We will use black on the parts that need it, but this is not one of those parts. I do want to make a duplicate of the layer and not work on the original. So there we go. Next up will be these two, and they will get black. And let's go ahead and overwrite and see how it looks on the model now. Yes, that's looking quite nice. Next up is the chimney, the main part that can be seen, that is. Let's make a new layer for it. And let's go with this color. And let's try to add in a brick or two, like we did on the other one. So it'll look a little bit different. And we are going to try something a little bit different this time. You'll see what I mean momentarily. That's looking pretty good. Of course, everything else doesn't, but that's because we hit everything else. Right now we're just working on these bricks. trying for a layered brick look here. I like what we have. Now we just need to copy it and move it around. And now see how it looks on the model. That'll work, but we need to move them around to the other side. See how it looks now. That's all. That'll do, I think. I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and get all the other layers showing but the main one and merge them all flat. Now, last thing to do here before we move on to the next part is check the main model here with all of the texture maps brought in. Now for the window and door sides, let's get the door way and then the windows. Alright, I think we have got it done. That looks alright. Time to move on to a new building. This time we're working on the artist's house. And before we can actually do any artwork on the house proper, we need to get the model broken up into various parts that we can then work with in the UV editor. So that's what we're going to do here. Just get everything broken up. I'm not worrying about the extra parts right now. That will come in later. Right now I just want to get the basic house done. Then later we will come back and grab some of the other structures. Of course, if it is a structure that is connected to the house, then there's no way around it. That looks all right, though I may have forgotten something. We will see. Get all of that marked. Mark some more here. There we go. And let's do this as well, just to be making it easier overall. I think we're now ready to go into the UV editor and unwrap everything. And we do have quite the situation here, don't we? thought we had everything marked, but a few things had been missed. Alright, that's making it look better. I think now we can start working on the map proper. We'll start with the roof. Go ahead and drag that down. Forget to pin everything. Now for the walls here. It seems I didn't grab everything. So let's fix that. And yes, I made a mistake there, didn't I? Not to worry. Get everything finally working together, and there we go. Move these over. Move them up out of the way. Grab the next two. Slide those over. Grab them and move them up out of the way as well. Probably flip them around to conserve space. Alright, now for the paint drop right there. Move it over. We'll get to positioning everything once we have it all clearly separated from each other. These two are windows. As are these, I believe. Yes. So we'll just grab those, lift them out, line them up. Like so. Missed one window, didn't I? Yep, I did. Alright. Fix that really quickly. Then the door. Now for the paintbrush. Get the two sides lined up. Move it over. The tip of the brush. Line it up, move it over, and pin it. Now for the walls. Let's not line those up. We will keep them separated. Get the other two wall sections here. Move those there. Just a few pieces left and we're done here. So that. Alright. Let's fix that. That should do it. Much better. Grab the floor, or the bottom of the model, which no one will ever see. And let's work on the upper part of the chimney here. That'll go in the black, and I think this as well, because really no one's going to see that. Top of the chimney, however, needs to be colored a little bit. And this is the inner part of the brush. Put that up there. And now for the sides of the windows and the doorway. Not really going to worry too terribly about these. Just want to get them lined up if I can. Some it's going to be easier than others. Alright, there we go. Everything is lined up. We can now begin moving components into the actual map grid. Seems to be filling out the image grid quite nicely without having to do too much. Well, there we go. That's one image map. Ready for, or UV map I should say, ready for exporting. Let's give this an appropriate name. And I do believe we are done. Hey there everyone. Just wanted to say thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Also, if you did enjoy the video, how about giving it a thumbs up? Alright, I will see you all next time.